This is a critical message for millions of seniors in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. If you're over 60 and struggling with obesity, poor heart health, or both, what you put in your mouth every single day can either save your life or destroy it. Doctors across the U.S. healthcare system are warning that most seniors aren't eating the right foods to reverse weight gain and heart issues, even though certain foods have been clinically proven to help. The body is no longer as forgiving after 60, and every bite either builds your health or breaks it. These are the top 7 foods that can literally destroy obesity and repair heart damage from years of neglect. The first food is salmon, especially wild-caught varieties from cold, clean waters. Fatty fish like salmon are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown in clinical research published by the American Heart Association to reduce triglycerides, lower blood pressure, decrease the risk of irregular heartbeats, and slow the buildup of plaque in the arteries. Seniors in the United States often lack this critical fat in their diets, relying more on processed meats and convenience foods. But inflammation is a silent killer, especially in older adults. Omega-3s work by directly reducing systemic inflammation, one of the root causes of obesity and cardiovascular disease in people over 60. Obesity isn't just excess fat. It's a condition of chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and hormonal chaos. When seniors begin to eat salmon 2 to 3 times a week, many report noticeable improvements in energy, mood, and even joint pain. In Canada, health practitioners frequently recommend fatty fish as part of heart recovery protocols for aging patients, especially those post-heart attack or stroke. The second food that dramatically helps fight obesity and improve heart function is avocados. These are often misunderstood because of their fat content, but it's important to remember that avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid, which supports a healthy lipid profile. In one United States Department of Agriculture (USDA) study, older adults who ate avocados regularly saw drops in LDL cholesterol and belly fat, even without extreme calorie cutting. Seniors need healthy fats to support hormone balance and fat metabolism, something that starts to decline after 60. Avocados are also a strong source of potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, and fiber, which supports healthy digestion and insulin response. It's not uncommon for seniors to feel full for hours after eating an avocado, making it easier to reduce unnecessary snacking and caloric overload. In the United Kingdom, heart dietitians often recommend replacing margarine, butter, and even cheese with mashed avocado to reduce trans fat and saturated fat intake. Another life-changing food that needs to be on the plate of every senior trying to reverse obesity is dark leafy greens, especially spinach, kale, and collard greens. These are nutritional powerhouses that provide magnesium, potassium, folate, and nitrates that widen blood vessels and improve blood flow. For seniors with arterial stiffness or early signs of heart disease, this is essential. Multiple studies in American clinical journals show that increasing dark leafy greens by just 2 servings per day can significantly lower systolic blood pressure in people over 60. Magnesium also helps regulate glucose levels, which can be a game changer for older adults with obesity-driven prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. In Australia, some elderly care centers have introduced daily green smoothies for their residents, and they've reported improved mobility, reduced weight, and better sleep patterns. The chlorophyll in leafy greens also supports liver detoxification, which is critical for those who have been taking prescription medications for decades. The fourth food that delivers real results in both fat loss and heart protection is blueberries, especially organic wild-harvested ones if possible. Blueberries contain anthocyanins, a class of flavonoids with potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Researchers from the Harvard School of Public Health found that women who consumed more than 3 servings of blueberries and strawberries per week had a 34% lower risk of heart attacks. Seniors in the United States often deal with oxidative stress from years of environmental toxins, poor diet, and pharmaceutical use. Blueberries actively reduce oxidative damage to cells, lower blood pressure, improve insulin sensitivity, and enhance fat metabolism. They are also known to protect brain health, reducing the risk of cognitive decline and dementia, which is another silent fear for many older adults. Adding a cup of blueberries to oatmeal or smoothies can make a significant difference. In Canada, elder wellness programs often emphasize berries as one of the top superfoods for aging populations due to their low glycemic impact and powerful healing compounds. Coming in fifth is extra virgin olive oil, especially high-quality varieties that are cold-pressed and stored in dark glass bottles. This oil is the cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, one of the most heavily studied diets for cardiovascular protection and longevity. What makes olive oil so powerful is its high content of polyphenols, natural antioxidants that reduce inflammation, protect blood vessels, and improve HDL cholesterol levels. Seniors in the United States who regularly use olive oil in place of vegetable oils, butter, and shortening have significantly better heart health outcomes. Olive oil also supports fat loss because it helps regulate blood sugar levels and keeps you full longer. Many elderly people were taught during the low-fat craze of the 80s and 90s to fear fats altogether, but now researchers are reversing course. In the United Kingdom, cardiac rehab programs have begun encouraging patients to consume at least 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil per day for better recovery post-heart surgery or heart attack. Olive oil AS benefits increase when it is used raw over salads or vegetables rather than being heated to high temperatures. The sixth food that has the potential to completely transform metabolic health and reduce heart disease risk is chia seeds. These tiny seeds are absolutely loaded with soluble fiber, plant-based omega-3s, calcium, magnesium, and protein. In the United States, where heart failure is the leading cause of hospitalization for seniors over 65, chia seeds represent a simple but powerful intervention. Just 2 tablespoons a day can regulate blood sugar, reduce LDL cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and promote fullness. Fiber is one of the most under-consumed nutrients among older adults in Canada and Australia, and its absence contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and poor gut health. Chia seeds form a gel-like consistency when mixed with liquid, which slows digestion and creates satiety, helping seniors naturally reduce calorie intake without feeling deprived. In United States-based clinical studies, patients who added chia seeds to their diet for 12 weeks showed measurable improvements in waist circumference and overall cardiovascular health markers. The seventh food that is absolutely essential for overweight seniors trying to protect their heart is beans, especially black beans, kidney beans, lentils, and chickpeas. These are high in both fiber and plant protein, which helps maintain lean muscle mass while promoting fat loss. Beans also have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike blood sugar, which is crucial for older adults managing type 2 diabetes or metabolic syndrome. According to data from the American Diabetes Association, seniors who eat legumes at least 4 times a week experience better blood sugar control, lower LDL cholesterol, and more stable energy levels. They are also rich in potassium, magnesium, and polyphenols, which support heart muscle function and vascular integrity. In Canada, many dietitians are recommending beans over meat several times a week to reduce saturated fat intake and improve bowel regularity, which becomes increasingly important with age. In the United Kingdom, health guides for elderly populations suggest replacing red meats and processed sausages with lentil-based meals to reduce cardiovascular disease risk by up to 30%. Obesity in older adults is a complex disease that doesn't just impact mobility. It drastically increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, insulin resistance, joint deterioration, and cognitive decline. What is terrifying is that many seniors in the United States have accepted excess weight as a normal part of aging, when in reality, it's a silent epidemic eating away at their health, day after day. In fact, studies from major U.S. health centers reveal that almost 43% of adults over 60 are obese, yet many feel helpless to reverse it because of misinformation, lack of access to nutritious foods, and decades of poor eating habits. Some older adults feel angry or discouraged because they've tried calorie counting or trendy diets without success, but the real change comes when the body is fed nutrient-dense healing foods that regulate hormones, reduce inflammation, and improve cellular function. It's not just about calories in and calories out anymore. It's about metabolic balance, hormonal stability, and nutrient signaling. Many seniors have shared that when they started incorporating these 7 foods, salmon, avocados, dark leafy greens, blueberries, olive oil, chia seeds, and beans into their diet consistently, they felt alive again. Some reported reduced dependency on medications, better sleep, improved mobility, and even emotional stability. One man said that after 15 years of struggling with obesity, his life began to change the moment he replaced his morning toast and sausage with a smoothie loaded with spinach, chia seeds, blueberries, and olive oil. These aren't exotic ingredients. These are simple, available, and affordable even in small towns across the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. The problem is that most food advice given to seniors is either outdated or driven by the wrong incentives. The truth is, foods that heal your heart are often the same foods that help you lose weight. You don't need to starve. You need to nourish, rebuild, and correct decades of metabolic damage. A massive issue affecting older adults in the United States is the false belief that weight gain and poor heart health are just part of aging. That belief is destroying lives. Seniors across the country are developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and degenerative joint conditions, not because they're old, but because their bodies are inflamed, overfed, and undernourished. The U.S. healthcare system is overloaded with seniors taking multiple medications, statins, blood pressure pills, insulin shots, when many of these conditions could be controlled or reversed with proper nutrition. But food is rarely prioritized because there's no profit in broccoli, beans, or chia seeds. The truth is, these 7 foods aren't just good for you. They are metabolic weapons against the kind of slow-motion suffering that comes with obesity, hypertension, heart failure, and insulin resistance. If a senior doesn't consume enough fiber, their blood sugar and cholesterol stay elevated, leading to more fat storage and more arterial damage. It becomes a vicious cycle. That's why beans and chia seeds are irreplaceable. Just 1 cup of cooked black beans contains over 15 grams of fiber, half the daily requirement for most adults, and the combination of fiber and resistant starch in beans slows the absorption of glucose. This helps the pancreas from becoming overworked. In the United States, where fast food and refined carbs dominate, many seniors go days without eating any real fiber. And that shows up in lab work: elevated A1C, rising LDL, and increased visceral fat. Seniors in Canada and the United Kingdom are being urged by public health initiatives to eat at least 3 servings of legumes per week to cut heart disease risk in half. But even that's not enough. To undo years of metabolic damage, fiber needs to become the foundation of every meal. When seniors make that shift, the results are visible. Weight begins to drop, even if calories are not being obsessively tracked. This happens because the body no longer feels starved of nutrients, and insulin becomes more stable. That's what most diets get wrong. They tell seniors to eat less and move more. But no one talks about feeding the mitochondria, reducing insulin spikes, or healing the gut lining, all of which are necessary to lose fat after 60. That's why avocados and olive oil aren't fattening. They are healing. They nourish the cells, improve hormonal signaling, and reduce cravings for processed carbs. Many older adults in the United States say they feel afraid to eat fats because they were told for decades that fat causes heart attacks. But what causes heart attacks is inflammation, oxidized LDL, and poor blood sugar control, not real food fats. When seniors start using extra virgin olive oil instead of canola or soybean oil, studies show they experience less arterial plaque, improved cholesterol ratios, and even improved memory. In Australia, a recent clinical trial revealed that participants aged 65 and older who followed a Mediterranean-style eating plan with heavy emphasis on olive oil had better cognitive function, lost belly fat, and had fewer cardiac events than those following a traditional low-fat diet. That's because olive oil, when unrefined and cold-pressed, contains over 30 types of polyphenols that protect against oxidative damage. And when that damage is reduced, weight loss becomes easier, energy improves, and inflammation quiets down. That is why people who say I am just getting old are wrong. It is not age, it's inflammation. Blueberries play another key role here. In one study by researchers at the University of Maine, elderly participants who consumed the equivalent of 1 cup of wild blueberries per day experienced significantly improved insulin sensitivity and lower blood pressure within just 8 weeks. That's a short time for such massive changes, and it proves how quickly the right food can shift your entire biochemistry. Seniors who carry extra belly fat often have what's known as insulin resistance, where the body becomes numb to the hormone insulin and stores more fat as a result. Blueberries help reverse that. They also protect the endothelial lining of blood vessels, which reduces the risk of plaque rupture, a common cause of fatal heart attacks in the elderly. And the best part is, they're sweet, they're portable, and they require no cooking. In Canada, some retirement communities have even started offering frozen wild blueberries daily to help support brain and cardiovascular health among aging residents. But none of these changes matter if they're not consistent. That's why routine is everything. Seniors in the United States who've successfully reversed obesity or improved heart health usually say it's not about perfection. It's about eating the right foods daily without skipping. That's why dark leafy greens must be a non-negotiable part of every meal. Spinach, kale, arugula, collard greens. They're loaded with folate, which helps lower homocysteine, an amino acid linked to increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. Greens also supply magnesium, which regulates over 300 enzymatic processes in the body, including heartbeat, muscle function, and glucose control. A magnesium deficiency can silently drive up blood pressure and weight gain, and most seniors in the United States are chronically deficient. In Australia, dietary guidelines are now advising seniors to consume at least 5 servings of vegetables per day, with leafy greens emphasized at the top of the list for their nutrient density and cardiovascular protection. When seniors begin blending leafy greens into smoothies with chia seeds and blueberries, what happens is astonishing. They begin to experience regulated bowel movements, more stable energy, and reduced hunger spikes. Many seniors say their sugar cravings virtually disappear when they start their mornings with fiber-rich green smoothies instead of toast or cereal. This is metabolic healing in action. It's not about willpower. It's about removing the blood sugar chaos that causes binge eating and fat storage in the first place. In United Kingdom clinics, dietitians are now focusing less on calorie counting and more on nutrient density. They're teaching older adults how to combine fiber, healthy fats, and antioxidants in every meal to trigger satiety and reduce overeating naturally. Salmon, when wild-caught and not farmed, offers something even more potent, EPA and DHA, 2 omega-3s that reduce arrhythmias, stabilize mood, lower triglycerides, and improve vascular elasticity. This means the heart can beat more efficiently and the arteries remain flexible. Seniors in the United States are often prescribed blood thinners or beta blockers after a cardiac event, but almost never told about the therapeutic impact of omega-3s. In one major study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, omega-3 supplementation reduced the risk of sudden cardiac death by 45%. That's not a minor number. And yet, millions of seniors in Canada and the United States are eating processed lunch meats, fried food, and sugar-laden snacks instead of nutrient-rich fish. Replacing one dinner per week with grilled salmon, greens, and beans could change the trajectory of their heart health dramatically. Many older adults feel frustrated because they believe they've done everything right. They took the medications. They followed the doctor's advice. But no one told them that medications without proper nutrition are like trying to build a house on sand. Without the foundation of cellular health, no drug can work as intended. That's why food matters more than most people think. One older woman shared how, after eating processed food for years and gaining over 40 pounds, she began eating salmon twice a week, added beans and leafy greens daily, and replaced her cereal with chia seed pudding. Within 6 months, she lost 28 pounds, her A1C dropped from diabetic range to normal, and her cardiologist reduced her medication load. She said the hardest part wasn't changing her diet. It was realizing how long she had been misled by old, outdated information. And that's something many seniors across the United States feel every day.